रामं रमेशं भजे रामेणाभियता निशाचरचमू रामाय तस्मै नमः रामान्नास्ति परायणं परतरं रामस्य दासोऽस्म्यहम् रामे चित्तलयः भवतु मे भो राम मामुद्धर राम रामेति रामेति रमे रामे मनोरमे सहस्रनाम तत्तुल्यं राम नाम वरानने श्रीराम नाम वरानन ओन्नमैति अय्यण् रुलृक् एयोङ् अय्यौच् हयवरट् लण् ञमङणनं जभञ् गडदश् जबगडदश् खफ छ ठ थ च ट तव खपै शशसर् हल् इति महाश्रसूत्राणि. So last time I think we're looking at this verse which is on your screen here. Nairjatagnam atha mantravan munehe prapad. It should be astram, not astram. Okay, let's put the typo. Prapad astram. There's a word called asram, asru. Asru means, of course, tears. But prapad, astram means, something to throw. Like a missile. Prapadastram avadhanatoshitat. Prapadastram avadhanatoshitat. Jyotirindha nipatini, I think it is. Okay, let me look at the, let me just expand this one so you can see clearly. Okay. Jyotir indha nipati, correct. Indhana nipati. Jyotir indhana, it's correct. Jyotir indhana nipati. Bhaskara surjakanta iva tadakantakaha. One more time. Nairjatagnam mantravan munehe prapadastram avadana toshitat. Jyotirindhana nipati bhaskara surjakanta iva tadakantakaha. Of course, there's a poetry going on here. Suryakantaha, Tadakantaha. Completely different meanings, of course. Suryakantaha, come is to desire. Suryakantaha is like a consort, the friend of the sun god, which is this kind of a precious stone, which is supposed to get its luster and its heat from the sun. And Tadaka Antakaha it is. Tadaka Antakaha, completely different meanings. Is the slayer of the Tadaka, the Ramaha. So last time we looked at the similes. First, if you want to padacheda quickly, nairjatagnam atha mantravat munehe prapad astram avadana toshitat is a compound. Of course, it's a simple tritiya tatpurushaha avadanena toshitat. One who was pleased by his parakrama toshitat, parakramena toshitat. One who was made happy by his valor. Show off his valor. Jyotihi indhana nipati bhaskarat suryakantaha iva tadakantakaha. We also went through this upama upameya. Upama is you have to match the vibhaktis. So here you have a prathama suryakantaha that will go with the tadakantaka. So you know who's being compared to whom. So suryakanta manihi is being compared to Sri Ramaha, who is Tadakantaka. Okay, that's the Prathama Ekavachanam. Then Bhaskarat is Panchami Ekavachanam. That's being compared to the Munehe. Munehe is Panchami Ekavachanam, Munehe. So the Bhaskara, Surya, has been compared to the Muni, Vishwamitra. Now Jyotihi, this could have been Prathama or Dvitiya, but clearly it's Dvitiya here. We already account for the Prathama already. So Jyotihi is compared to the Astram, the weapon, the missile. And because the Astram is also Ditya Ekavachanam, so is Jyotihi. Jyoti is Sakaranta Napunsakalinga Shabdaha. It's not Harivat Shabdaha. So Jyotihi is in Ditya Ekavachanam. It's declined like Jyotihi, Jyotishi, Jyotinshi. And then it has an adjective on both sides. Indhana Nipati is qualifying Jyotihi in the Upama. And the Nirritagnam is qualifying the Astram on the other side over there. So these two also maybe can be compared to each other. So Nirritagnam, Indhana Nipati. So last time we started with this word Nirritagnam. think Vasu asked me the question where the word nirjita came from. So that is actually a tadita from nirjati. Nirjati is alakshmi. Alakshmi. This dhatu is ru. I think there's a typo here. It should be short ru, not long ru. Nirjatagnam. So let me correct that. Should be short ru only. Okay, nirjatagnam. This dhatu ru. Ru I think is gatau. Like richati becomes richati. Last shloka of chapter 2, right? Esha brahmi satif partha nainam prapya vimujyati sitva syamantakalepi brahma nirvanam richati. Start our Bhagavad Gita class. So sitva syamantakalepi brahma nirvanam richati. So richati, this dhatu becomes this becomes richati, nirvanam richati, means goes. So anyway, this nirriti has also some interesting etymologies going on. So riti can also be, both of these words, Amar Kosha is one of the best places to look at etymologies. The commentaries on Amar Kosha. So they give some very nice etymology. I think they have given this word nirriti as alakshmi, and this says, nirgata rite shubhat itiva. So someone which has departed from auspiciousness, from good. So the riti is taking as shubham, shubhat. So nirgata shubhat. So anyway, nirjati is alakshmi, and then nirjata is coming as is tasya apatyapuman. So one who is the offspring of alakshmi, and so because this will be tasya apatyam, you get the pratyaya, generally get the pratyaya an. So get, I think the an pratyaya is coming here. So that is also in the Amar Kosha. Palantare puman. So disham palantare puman. Okay. So we'll take that the etymology given by because the tip off here is the adi vriddhi. The adi vriddhi which you see here, the nairjatam. When you see the adi vriddhi, you suspect this sutram coming is taditeshu achamadehe. Taditeshu achamadehe comes in 7.2, and what that tells us is end of 7.2 is that when you have tadita pratyaya falling, which is the ta varga panchama or the cha varga panchama is an it, then the adi ash takes vriddhi. Taditeshu acham adehe. As opposed to when you have the krut pratyaya falling, then it's going to be the ending vowel, achonyati. But taditeshu achamadehe kiticha. That adi vriddhi is a telltale sign of the, when you have a, doesn't mean all taditas will have it, only if you have the cha varga panchama nya or the ta varga panchama na, or kiticha if you have the ka as an it. So it's probably tasya apatyam, probably an might be coming here. So that's also in the Amar Kosha. I'll give you that one also. This is the one, it says nirjatehe apatyam tasya apatyam. Rakshasa, there are many words, Rakshasaha, kaunapaha. So it is many words. Ratrincharaha, ratricharaha, yatudhanaha, nirjataha. Nirjata is one of those. And nirjate rapatyam is what is given here. Okay, so that's how nirjata comes there. Nirjata gnam is a compound. It's I think last time we saw Mulinath has given us, I think, the sutram for that. The dhatu is han. In fact, I think last time's document we might have put that. Okay, we have it here. Nirjata am plus han plus tak pratyaya is coming here. Now in Bhagavad Gita in the first chapter itself, you have two places where you get this ghana form. Okay. So gnatopi madhusudana, etan hantum ichchami gnatopi madhusudana, api trailokya rajyasya hetu kinna mahikrate. That's one place. That is actually a present participle form of the dhatu han. Becomes gnat. Gnataha is a dvitiya bahuvachanam. So I don't want to kill my enemies even though they are killing. This is what Arjuna says. Also say one more place it comes below that, which is similar to our example here. Kulagnanam kulaschacha. Patanti pitaro yesham lattapindodaka. So kulagna, the word kulagna has come in the Gita in that also in the same chapter 1. Let's go to Gita for 1 second and see if you can find it there. Patanti pitaro yesham luptapindo. So it's chapter 1, not chapter 2, chapter 1. So you find these two shlokas, because this word is, I'll tell you there's a small problem here. The Vyakarana wise, we have a small problem, but we'll try to deal with that. Here it is. Sankaro narakayaiva kulagnanam kulasya cha patanti pitaro yesham luptapindo kriya. So chapter 1, number 42. This word has come in the Gita, very similar, because what we have right now is nairitagnam. Nairitagna is, and Malinatha has given us the Vigraha Vakyam for that. And what does he say? He has said I think Nairjatan Hanti iti Nairitagnam. Okay, let me just reduce the, okay. Nairjatan Rakshasan Hanti iti Nairjatagnam Amanushakartrike cha, the tak. But then in Bhagavad Gita we have the form Kulagnanam Kulasya cha. So this Panini Sutram says that this pratyaya tak can be used with the dhatu han, as long as the doer is not a human being. Amanushakartrike cha. But now in Bhagavad Gita they are human beings, because Kulagnanam Kulasya cha, if you see in the Gita, the example which Arjuna is saying, Sankaro narakayeva kulagnanam kulasya cha. So this Varna Sankaraha leads to hell for those who are destroying the family and for the family also. So these people are destroying the family, kulagna. They are human beings. So how can we use that then? So that's a bit of a problem. So we have to either relax this condition of Panini. Let me tell you one loophole in Kudantas, which is you see often invoked. When there is no other way out, you have to invoke somehow this. Okay, let me first go to Ashtadhyayi. There are two ways out. Okay, so now we're talking about the Bhagavad Gita. Because Kalidasa usage is fine. He's talking about Nairitagnam Astram. So Astra is not is a human being. So that one is fine. So according to Panini, that one is fine. But now if you look at the Gita usage, then is this one, Amanusya Kartrikecha. This condition has to be relaxed. Amanusya you don't have. So this is a Manusya. So now how do you do that? Okay, the way that they do is that, and this is really not a good thing, but finally when nothing else works, this they invoke this Bahulam. And this Bahulam comes in 31113, in completely different context. Panini says Kritya Luta Bahulam. Kritya Luta Bahulam means that the Kritya Pratyaya, the so-called potential participles, and the Pratyaya Lut can be used Bahulam. They can be used in various meanings, this and that. So there are a variety of usages. Now that Bahulam is taken and is used as an excuse to justify not only the Kritya Pratyayas, not just the Lut, but any Krit Pratyaya. So says, that on the strength of that Bahulam, you can then start bending these rules. We should not do it, but the Vyakhyatara or the Bhashyam or whatever, Vayyakarana, they will start using this Bahulam, and nothing else works. When a form like, in Bhagavad Gita, where it cannot be explained by Panini Sutras, and the Krit Pratyaya is involved, when everything fails, then you invoke this final loophole, which says Kritya Luto Bahulam. So 33113, let's put in the document. Again, you have to depend on the Vyakhyanam to see, if, and if you look in the Madhavya Dhatu Vritti or whatever, he has given a discussion of all of this. So this, I'll put the number here. It is 33113. 33113. So that Bahulam in 33113. Because otherwise you're wondering where this Bahulam is coming from, Where is the Bahulam? So that is the one, that Bahulam in 33113. Kritya Luta Bahulam. Bahulam in 33113 is used to justify and that may be required to explain the form Kulagna in Bhagavad Gita. You used to just one way out. It's not a good way. There's no easy way out now. You used to justify Kridanta forms. which cannot be otherwise be explained by Panini Sutras, Krudanta forms, Krudanta Rupani, which otherwise, which don't follow Panini rules, which don't fit Panini rules. Okay, so that's one way out. The other way, there's also a Vartikam somewhere else. Which we can also use. Let me give you that also. So that may be another way out. I mean, of course, if you're not a stickler for grammar, it doesn't matter to you. You understand what the form Kulagna means. But since you're doing Vyakaranam, you're wondering, since Panini specifically says Amanusya Kartrike, and then clearly in Gita it is not Amanusya Kartrike, then what do we do? The other way out that they've given is that under this, I think it is number 325, there is a Vartikam, which is a stretchable Vartikam. It's a Gana is mentioned here. The Pratyaya Ka can be used. Pratyaya Ka can be used in some exceptional forms. I think it's 324 or 325. There is this Vartikam, which is also invoked. Is also invoked frequently. If you want to use a Pratyaya Ka, and there is no sutram to justify that, then this is the Vartikam which is used. It is under 325. So it is called the Ka Prakarane Moola Vibhujadibhya Upasankhyanam. So let me just do it to you for a second. The reason I'm bringing all this up is that you're going to see these statements being made in the Vyakhyanam. So I want to just alert you, so where to go and find these things, where this Vartikam is. And so under 325 is this Vartikam, the Pratyaya coming is Ka. Now remember one thing, that 3253 is going to give you the Pratyaya Tak. 325 is giving the Pratyaya Ka. Now in the masculine and neutral, it will not make a difference. But if you want to make the feminine, then it will make a difference whether you want the Pratyaya Ka or the Pratyaya Tak. If you use the Pratyaya Tak by 4115, Tiddhane, you're going to get Pratyaya Nyip, become Kulagni. If you use the Pratyaya Ka, become Ajadyata, stop, you're going to get Kulagna. Depending on whether you want Kulagna in the feminine or you want Kulagni in the feminine, you have to either invoke the Vartikam or the Bahulam. For us, it doesn't matter right now at all, any of this, because we have the form Nirhita Gnam, which we don't need because that follows the Panini Sutras, and it is a neuter form, so we have no question with the feminine. But I just want to point this Vartikam to you. This one is the one, is the Ka Prakarane Moola Bhujadibhya Upasankhyanam, the Pratyaya Ka Prakarane. So in this Ka Prakaranam means where the Pratyaya Ka can be used. These exceptional words, Moola Bhuja is one of the terms that is described. Moola Bhujadibhya Upasankhyanam. So Moola Vibhujadibhya Upasankhyanam. So if you see this Vartikam, it means that the Pratyaya Ka is required. There is no sutram for it, so we have to justify it based on this Vartikam. Because the word Adi is here. It didn't give a list of which one it is. This is an Akriti Gana. Moola Vibhujadibhya. Okay, so anyway, so this is all for the Gita, not for us, but you have the word in the Gita. So let's quickly go through the steps now. I think I gave you the sutram last time itself. Let's start from last time. We left off at this Nairjita plus Am plus Han plus Tak. So, and I also went through a little bit of Karaka section for you. See that, we went through the Laukika, Alaukika Vigraha. And, actually, okay, I need to get the font going. Okay, let me get the font here. Right. So, Nairjata. Nairjata. Nairjatagna. Nairjata plus Am plus the Dhatu Han plus the Pratyaya Tak is what we have right now. Tak. Okay. Now, of course, the Am is going to go away by the sutram Supo Dhatu Pradipedika Yoho. Any samasa when we form, it gets the Pradipedika Sanya by Krut Tadita Samasascha. Krut Tadita Samasascha. And after that, we within a Pradipadikam, a Supratyaya cannot stay. So this is a standard operations. These two are standard operations. One is an operation, one is a sanya. So by Krit, the moment you form a samasa, you remove the Krit pratyas, remove the sup pratyas inside the samasa. So Krit tadisa samasascha, and you use that to get the, that's in 1-246, and then after that you use the supo dhatu pratipadika yoho to remove this pratyaya am. So 1-246, these are going to be done for all compounds, not only here. It's going to be done with all compounds that we are going to be studying. So these two should do immediately. So they're going to be standard now. So this pratyaya am is going to go away by because of that. Okay, now we're left with han plus stuck. Now this sutram which I mentioned to you last time is 6498. So let me put these numbers here. So 1-246 is Pradipadika Sanya, Kritadita Samasascha. 2471 is Supo Dhatu Pradipadika Yoho, Supluk. The Am Pratyaya goes away. Now there is a special sutram where the Akara of Han is going to drop. And that's 6498. Let's look at that for a second. So now we are coming to special rules now. So far it was just Samanya Niyamaha. Now Vishesha Niyamaha is this one. For only some dhatus, they drop their Akara. And so 6498 gives a list of them. It says Gama Hana, Jana Khana, Gasam, Lopaha, Kinityanangi. So what does that mean? These how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 dhatus, which is Gam, Han, Jan, Khan, and Ghas. Ghas is an adesha which comes from dhatu Ad. Lopaha. So it takes Lopaha, Kinityanangi. Now this is the Upada Lopa is taking place, because if you look at always check out the vritti. Before you apply any sutram, make it a habit please to check the vritti. Don't apply any sutram unless you check the vritti. What does the vritti say? Gama, Hana, Jana, Khana, Ghasa. Iti etesham anganam upadhayaha lopo bhavati ajado pratyaye kiniti anangi parataha. If you want, I'll even look at it here. The vrittis are extremely precise. They make sure that not a single word is put in the wrong place, because these are the rules of operation, These are like computer statements. So of course they have to be precise, because otherwise, the program will crash. So everything has to be spelled out. They are subject of extensive debate, these vrittis. Of course, most of the time they are not controversial, but sometimes they are controversial. And the vritti you can get from either the Kashika vritti. Since your Kashika is called a vritti. So when they say vritti karaha, when they say it means Kashika only. So, or from Siddhanta Kaumudi. These are two places, okay? So this one, Gamahana, difference between that is that Siddhanta Kaumudi follows a different order, and Siddhanta Kaumudi will not repeat anything. In Kashika, every sutram will have a vritti. Sometimes in Siddhanta Kaumudi, Bhattoji will say Spashtam. Spashtam means should be clear to you. Should be clear. Spashtam also means no anuvritti is required for that sutram. In Kashika, he is very kind. No matter how easy the sutram might be, he will give the vritti for every sutram. So that in a way Kashika is better that way. But Bhattoji has made some improvements also. It's much more recent work. Okay, let's see what it says. So make this a habit please. Any sutram, read the vritti. Sometimes you'll be surprised, because see, this one says, because if you look at sutram here, Gama, Hana, Jana, Khana, Khasam, Lopaha, you might think Alontyasya, like Raja was telling us, Alontyasya. The ending letter will drop. But no, anuvritti is coming of the Upadhayaha. Upadhayaha lopo bhavati. Then Ajadav. Ajadav pratyekiniti. So unless you know all the anuvrittis is coming down, you have to look at the vritti. Vrittis are meant to be memorized. If one thing you want to memorize after sutra, it is vrittis. So Gama, in fact, all these scholars, they memorize the vrittis. So they, it's very difficult. Okay, so by this sutram, just check all the conditions. Do we have a pratyaya with ajadi? We do. Because the tak pratyaya after chutu halantyam, only akara avashishyate. So it is ajadi. And then do we have, it's anangi. The pratyaya ang we don't have. So this pratyaya ang we don't have. So that is satisfied. We do have the dhatu han over here. So that is satisfied. So we can do the upadha lopaha, 6498. So gama hana jana khana gasam lopaha kinityanangi. One more thing you want to do, repeat this sutram as many times as you can, and repeat the vritti also a few times. Even if you don't know anything, just keep on repeating sutram and the vritti slowly, slowly. You start and the vrittis are in simple Sanskritam, okay? Not very difficult, nothing complicated in terms of the language. So I hope you can start understanding the vrittis. Like look at the vritti over here. It says gama, hana, jana. There's a typo here. Khana, ghasa, iti ete sham, anganam. Very simple. For these angas, upada, why angas? Because we can angasya adhikaraha. Then you can start understanding why these specific words have been used in the vritti. Where do you get the word anganam from? Because we are in the angasya adhikara, which goes to 647172. Anganam, upadaya anuvritti is coming. Lopaha, bhavati, ajadau pratyaye, be straightforward. Says kiniti, which is kar as an it. Anangi, should not, pratyang should not be there. Parataha, when that follows. Okay, now, so after doing that, and of course we did the chutu halantyam. Now then we'll get the form nairjata. We just put this down here. We'll get, we have to make sure this document is quite clear and the recording has no errors, because as I mentioned to you, there are many more people listening to the recording than to the class itself. So we are, it's not like I'm teaching and you're, listening. We all have to work together to make this recording as good as we can, as error-free as we can, and of course, as useful as you can, of course. So here this ha is going to, the akara is going to drop. Ha, na, and in the tak pratyaya already we removed the halantyam and the chutu, which I won't put the numbers. So I think all of you know the numbers. All these sutrams are from 132 to 138. It's sanyakam, then tasya lopaha. And then finally comes another sutram. Now what do we need? We need to change the ha. Let me put this number here. This I put the number 6498 we have used, okay? And now finally we need only one more sutram, which will change the ha to gha. And that also I gave the number last time. And that section starts in 7.3 is the kutva. Kutva means it does the kavarga adesha. And that starts with the sutram, the chajoho ku ghinyatoho. So from 7.3.52 starts this section of kutva adesha. So kavarga adesha or kutvam. So kavarga adesha, it starts from 7.3. The more you get a practice of these ashtadhyayi sections, the quicker you can go. If you know kavarga adesha is coming, then this section here, chajoho ku ghinyatoho, pratyaya is ga as an it, or the, like bhuj becomes bhogaha. That's the sutram there, because the ghai pratyaya has the ga as an it, so bhuj will become bhoga, and so on and so forth. And there below that, so for that 7.3.52 opens up that section of the kutva or the kavarga, kutvam or kavarga adesha, that goes up to 69. 7.3.52 to 69. And our sutram is right here, 7.3.54. Ho hantehe, the hakara of han, should be hakara of dhatu han, which is what we have right now. Nyinyeshu, should be either pratyaya which has the chavarga panchama nya as a marker, or tavarga panchama varnaha na as a marker, which we don't have. We have the pratyaya tak right now. The tak does not have either the nya or the na as a marker. But neshu or the nakara also might be there. So these three things, either there should be this nyat. Nyat means the chavarga panchama, tavarga panchama as an it, or the nakara. Now we have nakara over here. So that is, so we use 7.3.54. So 7.3.54 will now change for us the 7.3.54 replaces the ha by gha. Okay, so that's how we got that. We got that final form, gna. And the moment you see this gna coming, I think now you can look at, you have to look at these two sutras. The 6498 by the, you get the upadha lopaha, and then you have to look at the either 7.3.54, might be 55 or below that. So these two sections. Now in Gita, very quickly, Yeah, Vasu has a question. And then, of course, this is declined like Vanavat. It's an adjective. This is an adjective. It's qualifying the Astaram. So that's why it become like Vanavana.
Satish ji,
Yes, sir.
I'm a little bit confused if you bear with me.
Sure, sure. Go ahead.
Nairutagna. So I thought first you said it is Samastapadam, right?
It is Samastapadam, yes.
So we are essentially talking about Handhatu plus Pratyaya.
Yeah, okay. See, this is what you
so
said.
Nairita itself is a Pratipadikam, right?
Yes, it's a Pratipadikam. See, first of all, when you say Samastapadam, we have to identify some sutram in 2.1 or 2.2, which will authorize the samasa. Correct? We have to always start from there.
Yeah.
No samasa can be formed unless you have, the sutram in 2.1 or 2.2, which will give you the, the green signal for that. And the one that we are talking about is the Upapadam Ating. Upapadam Ating.
Okay.
Somebody is echoing. I don't know who it is. Is it you, Vasu, or is it somebody else?
I can mute myself, I think, if you want. I can listen to you.
It might be somebody else, may not be you.
Yeah.
Okay, everybody else, please mute yourself. Okay, it might be you. Once you mute yourself, I'll bring you back on. Okay.
Okay.
So this 2-2, I skipped that part because we've been through a few times. But let's start from that. So Vasu's question is that how is this Samastapadam? Because we have only one Pradipatakam, is Nirrita is there, and a Dhatu is inside over there. So then how is it becoming to Samasa? Because generally we have Sup, Supa, we have two Sups which combine to form a Samasa. But this one is an exception to that. It's the Upapada Samasa, where the second term is not a Sup. It's only Shabdantaram. It has Samarthyam to connect with this one, which is not a Subanta form. So as I mentioned to you in the Samasa Adhikaraha, from 2122 up to 2222 is the Tatpurusha land. And in that, the very last few are what are called Nitya Samasas, the special Samasas, and Upapadamating is 2219. So what it means is that the Upapadam is Prathama Nidishtam. Prathama Nidishtam Samase Upasajanam Purvam. In a Samasa Vidhayaka Sutram, normally you will have something in Prathama, something in Tritiya. Okay. It might be Anuvritti, through Anuvritti might be coming. And the Prathama Nidishtam goes Purvam. For example, if you take Karmadhara Samasa, you will have Visheshanam, Visheshyana, Bahulam. So an adjective compounds with the term that it qualifies in many ways. The Visheshanam is Prathama Nidishtam. In the Sutram, it has a Prathama Vibhakti. So that will go first. We say Shura Purushaha. The Shura is qualifying Purushaha. That is the Visheshanam. The Purusha is the Visheshyam. So it's Visheshya. So Visheshanam, Visheshyana, Bahulam. Now what do we have over here? We have Upapadam we have. That's the Prathama Nidishtam. And that will go first. So in our case, Nirrita is Upapadam. So that's going first. But where is the other term? Where is the other Tritiya Vibhakti is with what? Normally it should be Supa. Because Anuvritti of Supa is coming down. From the beginning of 2122 itself, we get the Anuvritti of Sup and Supa coming down. And that runs throughout this this Samasa section for the most part. See this is the, from 212 has the Sup in there, and 214 says Supa. So these two come down, okay. So one Sup can be combined with another Sup to form a compound. In various, all these conditions are there now. You know, what kind of Sup it should be, all that. But now in this Sutram, Upapadamating, as Vasu pointed out, the second one is not a Sup. The way upon it, because it's a chicken and egg problem, is we cannot form the Samasa until the Sup is ready. And then the Pratyaya cannot come, Tak, until the Upapadam is coming there. So Upapadam cannot come because, this Sup is not ready to combine with it. And then the Pratyaya Tak cannot come. The Samasa has not been formed. Upapadam is not there. So now how do we solve this problem? So this catch-22 situation. So the way that Pani does that is Upapadam Ating. Is Upapadam. It can, Samarthena Shabdantarena Samasyate. It can be compound with another term, not a Subanta. Another term, whatever the term might be, as long as it has Samarthyam. What is this Samarthyam? It means there's a logical connection between them, With the ability to make a combined meaning. So because the very first Uttam 211 is Samarthaf Padavidhi. Samartha Padavidihi. So all these sutras here there has to be samarthyam in there. You cannot just blindly combine because vibhakti is there. They have to, that's kind of intuitive. But so it just says samarthena shabdantarena samasyate, and as long as you have not following a tinganta cannot be formed with this. So an upapadam, which is authorized, can combine with another term which is logically connected with it, as long as the tinganta is not being formed. That's what this sutram says. So yeah, we don't have two subantas in there. We only have one subantam, which is the nirita with the am, and then we have a second term, which is not going to end up in a tinganta form, and which has a logical connection with that nirita, and that's how we can form this samasaha. Now, how do we know which upapadas are qualified to combine with which dhatus, with what pratyayas to form these kind of samasas? And that, as we have seen a few times already, is covered by Panini in the section of dhatoho. It says tatropapadam saptami stham. On 3192, Panini defines which upapadas can be used in what meanings, with what dhatus, with what pratyayas, from 3192 to end of third chapter of this. Tatropapadam saptatra means asmin tritiya dhatu adhikare. Saptami stham, something which is in the saptami, indicated by the saptami, not the word saptami itself, but saptami stham. That means say karmanyan, or karma is any object will be the upapadam. And as a practical matter, most of them come from 3 to 1 to 3 to 100. From 3 to 1 to 3 to 100, we have most of these, not all of them, but many of them come there, and that's what we have right now. So when we had this, we use 3253 right now. 3253 is what we used. So we got this from Amushchakartrakecha. So this anuvritti of Han was coming down here, So this, so that's what this 3253 allowed us to use this dhatu Han, in the sense of, with now the anuvritti of karmanyan is coming there. Anuvritti, so the karma of the Han, the person who's being killed, object of the killing, he can go and he is a qualified upapada, and Han can use a pratyaya tak with it, as long as this whole compound is referring to a non-human doer, a non-human, which of course is okay with Kalidasa because it's qualifying Astram. In Gita, you have to make some extension for this. So that's what the whole thing was formed. I don't know, Vasu, does that answer your question, Vasu?
Satishji, yes. Yeah, this one, I was wondering whether if you take the pada hanta, then it is a hanta can be a pratipadikam, right?
Hantru.
And the hanta would be
you could have had nirrita hantru. Then that would be a different kind of a compound, not this kind. That would not be upapada samasa.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you did very clearly answer me. I'm sorry if I'm dragging others.
No, it's good. It's good because this upapada samasa is tricky, but it's a good clarification. I think the more time we repeat these concepts, some of them are not that clear from this thing. So if you had nirrita hantru, that will be a shashti tatpurushaha. Nirritanam hantru. That will be a simple shashti tatpurushaha. Because then hantru, what's upapada samasa? I forgot to mention that. In simple English terms, is that when that second item, second term in the compound, the right-hand term, does not have independent existence, that's when you know you have upapada samasa. If you take the term nirrita hantru, then hantru has independent existence. The word hantru can stand on its own. But when you say nirrita gnam, you cannot say hanti iti gnam. Gnam cannot stand on its own. So that's how you know in very simple English terms that you have a upapada samasa. Like when you say kamalaja, if you cannot say jayate iti jaha. So if you could say jayate iti jaha, then it's not upapada samasa. But you could not say that. That's why so when that second term depends on the upapada to be there for its existence to stand, then you have upapada samasa. Okay. Okay, so that's good. So that's the clarification. That's a Nairjatagnam. Let's try to follow the remaining of the verse. And that's why Malinath has given us this form. Amanusyakartrikecha iti tak. Tak. Okay, then that has one adjective, mantravat. Mantravat, he's qualifying, he's clarifying for you. Mantravat equals mantra yuktam. As I mentioned to you many times, even if you don't understand the whole verse, it doesn't matter, it's okay. Try to pick up the simple pieces, like mantravat equals mantra yuktam. Very simple, very straightforward. But as you get more simple pieces, the next time around, you can pick up some of the difficult pieces also. You can try to take a shot at the difficult ones. So don't worry if you don't understand this, what this means and the tuck is. Don't worry, it's okay. Leave it. At least this much can you understand. Nairjatan equals rakshasan hanti iti nairjatagnam. That is enough. This, if you don't understand, leave it for a time being. Of course, in the class we'll do it, but I mean if you're reading on your own. So that doesn't mean you should put the book down and say it's too difficult for me, I don't want to do this. Take the easy ones. Come back to it. You'll be able to get more knowledge next time around. Because it's very difficult to pick up everything on your first pass. So mantravat equals mantra yuktam. What he's telling you is that this is vatu pratyaya. Very simple, like balavat, balavan, So mantravat. How did it become mantravantam or something like that? Dvitya ekvachanam. Because this is a napumsakam. It's qualifying astram. You have to remember astram is the noun over here, and that is what is driving these adjectives. The astram, always tag on when you see any adjective, please, always identify the noun behind it. Do not leave any adjective until you're clear in your mind that what is the noun behind it. Many times in Sanskritam, you will have one noun, and you can have literally like 15, not 15, but you can have literally 5 adjectives for that. So only one noun is driving all of them. Everything else is dependent on that noun. So you can leave all the adjectives out. For instance, the simple sentence here is that, say, Tadakantakaha astram prapat. That's all. That's all you need. Tadakantakaha Ramaha, Sri Ramaha, astram prapat. Everything else is just like, alankara around it. So that we can seal it, and we can take whatever we can, and that's enough for us. So that mantravat is the vatu pratyaya. Actually the pratyaya is matup. It's a tadita pratyaya, which comes at the end of 5.2. As I said, the Tadita land has more than 1,000 sutras. It's one of the, in a way, difficult section of Ashtadhyayi. And even after 1,000 sutras, they say Taditeshu Mudhaha Paniniyaha. The followers of Panini don't understand Taditas. So even after more than 1,000 sutras, people they tell that followers of Panini don't understand Taditas. So they say it's a very complicated topic. It's all based on usage. How these secondary nouns were derived in the old days in various meanings with various pratyas. The good news of Taditas is that the prakriya is easy. If once you know what the pratyaya is coming, you don't have to do it. Angakaryam is easy. Angakaryam sukaram is not. Maybe one vruddhi might be there or something like that. That's all. Unlike in Tingnanta land, where the Angakaryam has many steps and interdependence. Here, the hard part is finding the pratyaya itself. What pratyaya has been used? But within this big jungle is the sutram which says that Tadasya asti asmin niti matup. So please mark this section for you. These sections which we are marking up, at least it will in that jungle of Taditas, it will carve out for us some territory that we can at least know where these regions are. This is one of them. From 5.294 to end of 5.2 is the matup adhikaraha. Tadasya asti asmin iti matup. When you add in tadit pratyaha or krut pratyaha, you should know 3 things. Which prakriti can take this pratyaha? Second thing is that what is the pratyaya itself? In what meaning is it coming? So and they may not be in the same sutram. In Taditas, typically they will not be in the same sutram. There'll be some place Panini will only give a pratyaya. So from now on, this pratyaya is adhikritaha pratyaya. Then sometimes he will give only the meaning. Somebody will only give the prakriti. What does he give over here? Tad asya asti asmin niti matup. The pratyaya is matup. It comes in this meaning. Tadasya asti, one who has this, or asminniti, or in him it can be found. In that meaning, he didn't say what prakriti can take it. So right now, as a default, any prakriti can take it. Anybody can take it. So here we have the, for us we have the prakriti's mantra, and the pratyaya matup was coming as a default. And this is a very nice section from 5 to 94. Many words are formed from this section. Even words that you will never suspect will come from this here. The word like nagara. Now nagara, you will not see nagara comes from a matup pratyaya, does it? But it does come, because naga means that which doesn't move, a structure. Nagara means that which has fixed structure. It's a town or a city. Word like Keshavaha. Now we think Keshava will not, it's not matup pratyaya, but it is. Panini has one sutram. Panini has sutram is specifically for Keshavaha. Okay, I might be going in and out in the internet connection. We're having a storm in New Jersey here. So in case I am not able to see the screen, at least my phone will be working, okay? But my connection will come back, but I'm just warning you. I might be going in and out. So this is also Keshadvonyatarasyam. So Panini has one sutram just for the word Keshava. Anyway, this section is a nice section, which the many words are derived of, like, which we are very known, like a word Shamala, So these words are all matup arthya pratyayas, and they are, it's worth mastering this section. And how does matup become vatup? And that comes in the 8th chapter of us. So this is again the Panini style, is that you put the pratyaya in place in chapter 3, 4, or 5, then complete all the other operations in chapter 6, 7, and 8. So so there this comes, this 8 to 9 says, Mad upadhayascha mator vo ayavadibhya. So what this means is that the matup, the makara of matup becomes vakaraha. And when does that happen? That happens when you have either a angam ending in makara, or the upadha is ma, or if you have the angam ending in avarna, or the upadha is avarna. So one more time, if you have either a makaranta or avarnanta angam, or you have either the makara or avarna as the upadha. What do we have? We have mantra. Mantra is akaranta or avarnanta. That's why the makara of matup became vakara. So 8 to 9. Mad upadhayascha mator vo ayavadibhyaha. Mator vo yavadibhyaha. Okay, so after all that, so the one we used 5. So this 8 to 9 we used in conjunction with 5 to I think it's 94, and finally decline neuter. So it did not become like balavantam. It became mantravat only, because only samo napumsakat declension time, that for when the napumsak pratipadi come, the su and the they drop as the default. Of course, how do you get vanam, vane, vanani? That's an exception, because if it's atoam, if the pratipadim ends in short it gets the pratyaya So anyway, maybe I'll put in the document here. So 5 to 94. So mantravat is qualifying astram to dvitiya ekavachanam, and we have used the pratyaya matup to begin with. Of course, the matup by halantyam and upadesh ajuna nasika it. The Tadasya asti. I think as Kalpesh pointed out, I should put the pratyaya su over here, because even when you add tadita pratyayas, you have to actually put the sup, and the same thing that we used before. Right? Kut-tadita samasascha 1 to 46. These tadita antas get the pradipadika sanya, and in supo dhatu pradipadika yoho, we have to remove the sup ending. So I'm sorry, I think, did I put this in the wrong place? Okay, I put it in the wrong place. Okay, let me take this down here. How did I know, by the way, to put the supratyaya? Because sutram says tadasya asti asmin niti matup. So tat, that's the prathama in the sutram itself. So tadasya asti asmin iti matup. Okay, so mantra plus su plus the Then we had the matup pratyaya, which became anubandha lope mat, and so this is 5294, and then we used the 829 to remove changes the ma to va. Okay, and even before that, I should put here the use 8246 from 1246 and the 1246 and 2471. 1246 will give the Padipadika Sanya, and then 2471 will remove the Supratyaya. So that we had before. Also removes the Su. Okay. Now, by the way, all of these, for those of you who are reading the Bhaimi Vyakhya, they will all be in the in book number 5. In book number 5, if you want, I will quickly go there, because everything that we do, well, almost everything that we do in the class is in the Bhaimi Vyakhya. And in the chapter 5, sorry, not chapter 5, in book 5 is all the Taditas. It's a nice section. Taditas, as I said, are not that easy. They're difficult, but Shastriji has done a fantastic job, as usual, of giving as best. So Tadasya asti asminiti matup, I think it is around page 102 in the book number 5. At least the Madhupadhayascha, maybe slightly before that. No, that's not the right page. Tadasya asti asminniti matup. That one is in the back. Here is a very nice index of all these sutras. That's actually page 300 is where that one starts. 300, Shastriji starts this section on matup. So if you can just glance at that, you will be able to look at this section. Okay, let's continue mantravat and then decline. If you want, I can put the sutrams for the declension also, which says samo napumsakat. It will be in 7.1. As I mentioned to you many times, all these pratyaya adeshas become in the beginning of 7.1. Samo napumsakat, as I said, that the su and the pratyayas, they drop when the pratipadikam is napumsaka pratipadikam. So mantravat plus the samo napumsakat, the 7.123, and drops the 7.123, samo napumsakat. So we had mantravat, so mantravat plus and then the drops 7.123, drops the Okay. Okay, so now that's mantravat is finally declined, neuter, accusative, singular, samo napumsakat. Now what is left now? We have the, what does Malinatha say? Mantravat mantrayuktam astram. And now it's coming down to the upama. Surya Kanta mani visheshaha. So it makes it very clear for you. This is a special kind of a stone. It's a precious stone of a special kind that is supposed to get its heat and its luster from the sun. So now look at he did not give Vidara vacuum for the compound, which I mentioned to you many times. Is we should be able to do it on our own. Suryasya kantaha. So kam becomes kantaha, means he's a friend. He's a friend of the or the consort of the sun god. Suryasya kantaha. Now how did kam become kantaha? Anybody in the class? Kam becoming kantaha. Anuji knows the sutram. Let me see. Anuji should know that.
No, Satyajit, I don't know. What?
No, you know it.
Kanta.
This is in your adhikara. We have to pay your fee when you come to your adhikara. So she has, there's some section in Ashtadeva which are copyrighted by some people. So she has a copyright. So when we go to that, Anunasika Sekvijjaloho Kiniti, right?
Oh, okay.
Right? In the section of 6.4, Anuji. Okay, so let's go to Kam becoming Kantaha. Sutram Anunasikasya Kujjaloho Kiniti. So the pratyaya clearly is the nishtha pratyaya kta over here. We need to do the upada dirgha, which is under this section, and that one says the sutram there, anunasikasya kvijjaloho kiniti. Anunasikasya, when you have this nasal ending dhatu like dhatu kam, and it's the pratyaya following either pratyaya quip or kvi pratyaya, which we don't have, or the jhaladi kiniti. So kam plus kta, which we have, so then that does the dirgha, like sham becomes shantihi, kam becomes kantihi, so all these will do the upada dirgha. Now, second thing is that why not any idagamaha? Because in the manteshu yamanamagamarama chatvaraha, there are only 4 dhatus in manteshu which are anid dhatus. So now then what happened to this one then? Come. Now, in the section on the idagamaha, we have about 21 rules. 21 rules just for the nishtha pratyaya when it does not take idagamaha. One more time. We have 21 rules in the section idagamaha. In nishedha, from the in nishedha starts from the 7 to 8 it starts, nedvashikriti. And from 7 to 14 it says shvidito nishtayam. Shvidito nishtayam. From that nishtayam, it goes up to 7 to 34. So from 7 to 14 to 7 to 34, there are 21 rules which tell us that nishtha, what is nishtha? Ktaktavatu nishtha. When the nishtha pratyaya does not, the kta or ktavat, it doesn't take idagama. Of course, you have to know all 21, but know where they are. If you see a nishtha pratyaya, and the idagama is not there, then you have to look at this section. Let me tell you one more thing. It is also sutram 7 to 11, shrukash kiti. Shrukash kiti. So anything ending in uk or a dhatu shri does not take any idagama. The following pratyaya is a kit pratyaya. Nishtha is a kit pratyaya also, but taktavatu nishtha. So you may have to look at 7 to, like bhu becomes bhutani, the very, very common term, bhutani. Dhatu bhu is a set dhatu, udrudantai. And how bhu becomes bhutani? Because of this shrukash kiti. Anything ending in uk, urul, they don't take idagama. Pratyaya for the kit pratyaya. Right now we don't have that. We have dhatu kam, dhatu kam. So now there must be something in this from 7 to 14, 7 to 34, which must be stopping the idagama. See, I want you to get in this habit of checking that those karikas, So when you have a valadi pratyaya, which is ardhadhatuka pratyaya, then always please go to 7 to 10, which is the ekach upadesham anudattat. And, you have to go to those, kanteshu, chanteshu, the list of halanta dhatus which are anit, and the list of ajanta dhatus which are set. And in the manteshu, we have yamanamagamarama, so these are not, kam is not in there. So now we are stuck with the problem of a possible idagama. But clearly idagama is not. If Surya Kanta is in the shloka itself, it doesn't have the idagama. And what do we do? Okay, reason I'm going through all of this is that I want you to know one important sutram in this, among these 21, and that is the yasya vibhasha. The very first one, this yasya vibhasha. Remember this sutram, please. The 7 to 15, yasya vibhasha. What it means is that if a dhatu has a id vikalpa vibhasha anywhere, then nishtayam anit. When nishtha fall becomes anit. So if the dhatu kam has id vikalpaha somewhere else, not in nishtha, some other pratyaya follows, or in general if it's a weight dhatu, for example, it might be. In that case, when the nishtha pratyaya is used, it cannot take idagama. So that's the one that I want to point out to you, the yasya vibhasha sutram, 7 to 15. Now do we know that the kam has a vibhasha somewhere? And that, I think you have to look at what are the it letters on the dhatu kam. In the dhatu partaha, what it is there on dhatu kam? I think dhatu is, kamu. So dhatu should be kamu. You must double check that. I mean, looking at the Madhya dhatu vritti, dhatu is kamu kantau. Kamu kantau. Now look at this also. This is also a funny thing, isn't it? Kamu kantau. The dhatu kam in the sense of kanti. Now the dhatu, the word kanti derived from kamu. So from kam. So what does it mean by saying kamu kantau? What does it mean? Like nibi bhaye, the dhatu bhi in the sense of bhaye. So bhi means, bhaya means derived from bhi. If you don't know bhi, how do you know bhaye? But the answer is that the term bhaya or the term kantihi is well known in the language. So what this dhatu bhata is telling you is that this is the dhatu kam from which the word kanti comes. The word kanti is well known to you from the language. The dhatu kam may not be known to you. So when he says kamu kantau, means that this is the word kanti which is known to you. It derived from this dhatu kam. So this is the dhatu kam in the sense of kanti. Anyway, that's also, it sounds very funny because if you're trying to find out what the dhatu kam means, and it says kamu kantau, means in the sense of kanti. Now the kanti derived from dhatu kam. Anyway, by the way, in the word the kanti, same sutram. Just like we're doing kanta, in kanti also same sutram is going to come, the same derivation. So that has u as an it. Now that has u as an it. Now when that u as an it comes there, then you get the uditova sutram. Uditova. Uditova comes here in 7256 uditova. So this says that when the pratyaktva follows, anything which has u as an it becomes weight. Va means it takes idagama optionally. It allows idagama optionally. Be careful, one more thing in your mind. Idagama is taken by the pratyaya, not by the dhatu. The dhatu only allows idagama or disallows it. So uditova means if dhatu has u as an it, then following that dhatu, the pratyaktva, which you don't have right now, but the pratyaktva can take idagama optionally. But because of that, vibhasha has come there. Now, then we can go to 7 to 15, yes vibhasha, and then stop the idagama for our situation right now, which is the kata pratyaya. So anyway, the reason I'm going through all this is I want you to remember the sutram yes vibhasha, 7 to 15. If the vibhasha anywhere for that dhatu, then in nishtayam anit, it becomes anit in nishtha. And then also I want to look at the sutram is the anunasika sikvijjaloho kiniti, upada dirgha takes place. If you don't know any of these rules, don't worry. In volume 3 of Shastriji Bhaimi Vyakhya, very nice list of all the krut pratyas is given. Okay, that's one place to look at. Otherwise, you can go to the Krudanta Rupamala, Krudanta Rupamala. There's also another book. So if you don't remember these rules, if you know the reference book to use, you can find the answer. Okay, so that's another way you can look. So Uditova is 7 to 56. So let me put these numbers down here, just in the document. So the word Kantaha, which is Surya Kanta. Of course, then it's a compound is very easy. Surya Kanta. Kantaha is Kanta means also one who desires, desires. So it means he's a friend or associate or the consort. Like my teacher's name was Lakshmi Kanta, by the way. Lakshmi. So Lakshmiyaha Kantaha means Lord Vishnu. So Kantaha use the okay. So Idagamaha is stopped by a combination of 7 to this one, the 56 in combination with the 7 to 15. 7 to 15 stops the Idagamaha, and then the Upada Dirgha is done by Upada Dirgha is done by that Anunasika Sikvijjaloho Kiniti. That one is it has to be Jhaladi, because the thing is that this is all the interdependent operation. First you stop the Idagama first, and then you have to go to, because that sutram Anunasika Sikvijjalo requires Jhaladi Pratyaya. So if the Idagama had come, that will spoil the situation. You will not get the Dirgha by that 6-4, 15. 6-4-15 does the Upada, because unless you need to stop the Idagama first before you can use 6-4-15. 6-4-15 requires Pratyaya, which is Jhaladi. So it will not be Jhaladi if you get the Idagama. Okay, so Surya Kanta, we got that one. And then we go to, he says Bhaskarad. Bhaskarad, no commentary. So Bhaskaraha is one who makes light, that's the sun, Bhaskaraha. That's also Upapada Samasa, by the way. The Bhaskaraha is also in Upapada Samasa, Bhaskaraha. And then comes Bhaskarad, then Indhanani. Indhanani is Indhanani Nipatayati iti Indhana Nipati. Okay, now this is also in Upapada Samasa. How do we know that by this? From the Vigraha Vakyam is repeated many times in the class already. Is in the Vigraha Vakyam, you have the tingantam padam, which is indhanani nipatayati iti indhana nipati. So in the Vigraha Vakyam, you have tingantam padam. When you see that, that is the one way to learn very quickly Upapada Samasa from the commentary. From the commentary, you pick out those Vigraha Vakyams which have tingantam padam in there. So nipatayati. So indhanani nipatayati. So that which nipatayati means he makes them fall, makes them kind of burns them. So indhanani nipati, indhana nipati, nipatin patipadakam. What pratyaya is being used here? Now he didn't give us the sutram for this. Didn't tell us which pratyaya is being used. Now most likely what he's doing is that is first of all he says nipatayati. What does that tell you? He's making nijanta form. Nijanta forms from this dhatu pat, ni plus pat, nipatayati. So he has made a nijanta form from there. And then this pratyaya is a very common sutram. Pratyaya is, what is the pradipadikam here? Anybody in the class? Is indhana nipati is qualifying the jyotihi. Jyotihi itself, as I said to you, is that, Vasu has the answer, is the jyotihi itself is a sakaranta pradipadikam, and the jyotihi is dvitiya ekavachanam. So clearly indhana nipati has to be the same vibhakti as the jyotihi. It has to be dvitiya ekavachanam napumsakalinge. So some pradipadikam plus the pratyaya is giving us the final form indhana nipati. So what could the pradipadikam be here? Is this like a vari shabdaha, or what is it like? Yes, Vasu? Vasu? No. Okay. Anybody else in the class? What is the pradipadikam here? Besides Kalpej. Well, we'll do Kalpej finally, I guess. Let's see. Anybody can answer this? What is the pradipadikam here? So what indhana nipati or indhana nipatin is pradipadikam here? Indhana nipatin. There is two pradipadikam. Word like vari and word like bhavin. Now their declensions are identical almost in all places except the shashti bhavachanam become varini. Varinam or become bhavinam. So these are only place where the ikar is short, rasva ikaranta. Napumsaka pradipadikam has a bhinnam rupam, a separate form. Then the bhavin shabdaha is in the shashti bhavachanam. Otherwise they decline the same because it's vari, varini, varini. Same thing. Bhavi, bhavini, bhavini. Vasu again. Yes, Vasu?
Satyaji?
Yes.
I was about to say that Indhan is the first Subandha Padam in the...
Indhana.
Indhana, yeah.
Indhana plus the arm, and then dhatu ni plus pat plus nich plus some pratyaya I think the pratyaya is ini. And then we get the pradipadikam indhana nipatin. See, I was trying to first understand that the pradipadikam is indhana nipatin. If you know that, so this is not like vari shabda, even though it are given in the same form. If you take vari also, ikaranta napumsalinga shabdaha, dvitiya ekvachanam of vari is also vari only. If you take the word bhavin, there also the dvitiya ekvachanam is bhavi. So now you do not know whether the pradipadikam is indhana nipati or indhana nipatin. Now that's why I was trying to clear that point first. And once you know what indhana nipatin is there, then the pratyaya is going to be ini. Is that what you're trying to say, Vasu?
Not that much I know about it, and I thought when you said Upapada Samasa, Indhana should be the first Pratipadikam in the Samasa.
That is the Upapadam.
Upapadam.
That is the Upapadam. Yes, Indhana is Upapadam. Okay, that's correct. So now the Vigraha Vakyam was not given by Mallinatha, but what we have is Pratyaya. Ini is a count Pratyaya, which you can use Supya Jato, Ninistachilye. Supya Jato, which is very commonly used, like, Mayavadin, Ushnabhojan, the Somayajin, all these are used. So Standila Shayin. So it should be in 3-2. 3, I'm sorry, not, did I say 7.2? Not 7.2, not 7.2. It will be in 3.2 in that section on the Upapadas. So, of course, you first start with the Upapadam, I think, go through all those same steps. But then the Upapadam, I think it's 3.278, is it? Yeah. Supya jato ninihi tachilye. That might work for us, because the pratyaya nini, when he use, then you already have the pati, already nich has been added there. So when you have pati plus in, then niraniti, that ending e is going to drop. When you have a pratyaya which is ardhadhatuka pratyaya, this pratyaya ninihi is pratyaya ardhadhatukam, because ting is ardhadhatukam sheshaha. So nini is going to be pratyaya ardhadhatukam. It is not valadi, because it is in. You cannot take an idagamaha. So then niraniti. So nich pratyaya drops when the pratyaya follows, which is a ardhadhatuka pratyaya, and it does not have an idagama. The 6.451, niraniti. So nich goes away, and you finally get the form indhana plus ni plus pat. Nich has gone away, and indhana nipatin. And once you do that, of course, supodhatu pratika yoho, that arm drops inside there. Indhana nipatin is pratipadikam, and decline here. Now what about the subandha prakriya now? When you do indhana nipatin plus so here the same thing, samo napumsakat. Samo napumsakat, the pratyaya drops away. I think 7.123 we already saw today. And then finally, nalupaf pradipadikantasiya. Nalupaf pradipadikantasiya. So when you say indhana nipatin plus because we want a dvitiya ekvachanam, we use samo napumsakat, which we already saw today, is when you have napumsaka pradipadikam, following that as the default, the pratyaya su and they drop away. So that's 7.123. And then we have finished the sapasaptadhyayi karyam. We go to Tripadi and remove the nakara by the 827. By 827, we remove the nakara by nalopaf pradipadikantasiya. If you have a nakara which belongs to the pratipadikam, also padanta, it takes lopaha. So if you have a nakaraha, which is pratipadika nakaraha, also padanta nakara, it takes lopaha. So the pratipadikam was the indhana nipatin, because someone napumsaka, the pratyaya has gone away, but still you have suptingantam padam, pratyaya lope pratyaya lakshanam. Suptingantam padam still holds. The pratyaya came and went away, but because it's coming and going away, it now gave a padasanya for that the indhana nipatin, because sup came and went away, the pratyaya came and went away, but pratyaya lope pratyaya lakshanam. Laksham is left behind, so suptingantam padam. So by 827 you get this. So what I'll do in document is maybe just put very, very brief things here. Okay, so maybe I'll put it like this. So okay, let's just put only short notes over here. That takes a lot of time. So indhana ni pa. I'm sorry. Nipatin. We used 3278. I keep saying 3278 to first form, and then for declension, we use the 7123 and 827. And of course, this is a dvitiya ekvachanam. Okay, so we got that form in Nipatin, and then prapat, and then also what does it say? It says kashta dahakam. So indhana he says kashta dahakam. So this is a paryaya shabda is giving now. So nipatayati means what? Pata means to fall. Patayati means he makes them fall. It means makes them fall down. Means that dahati. He means that which burns. So kashta simply says kashta dahakam. So even if you don't understand everything what he's saying, indhana nipati is kashta dahakam. So that pratyaya, he has used the pratyaya aka. So dahakam, this nul truchau, the pratyaya nul aka has been used here, yoranakau. So dahaka is an adjective. So kashtascha dahakam, and this is also declined, neuter, accusative, singular. When the commentator gives a paryaya shabda, he will maintain the vibhakti as in the mula part, mula shloka. So if you don't understand vibhakti if you don't understand vibhakti of the indhana nipati, Look at Kashtadahakam. So it will be same vibhakti will be there. Then Jyotireva, because he puts the adjective before the noun. Adjective before the noun. So Indra Nipati was qualifying Jyotireva. Then Prapat. Prapat is Praptavan. Prapat equals Praptavan. No more commentary on that. Okay. So what does it tell you means he obtained. So dhatu is ap over here, pra plus ap. Okay. Now, as I mentioned to you, this one, the ending tip, I think you can guess the ending was tip over here. And the E has dropped by itascha. The E has dropped by itascha by 3, 4, 100. What does itascha sutram say? By 3, 4, 100 is that if a lakara has that ka varga panchama nga as an it, ka ka ga ga nga. If that is an it in the lakara, so which are they? Lung, ling, lung, rung. These 4 of them. Okay. In these 4 lakaras, the ending ikara drops, itascha. So the tip, sip, mip, the ending that e of them drops. So now when you see the form prapat, if you without knowing too much vyakaranam, if you look at the ending ta over there, first of all, we should know it's a tingantam padam, because he's converted to praptavan. So he's making into kudanta form, which is like a surrogate for tingantam padam. Say praptavan it is like he obtained. So that he's converting it now. So this is a past tense form he's telling you. So now we have only two, when you look at the praptavan, literally you have only 2 choices left, either lung or lung. Because we had 4 lakaras which had ng as an it, which is lung, ling, lung and rung. Now rung is very rare, it has a sya in it, it's not a past tense. So forget about rung. The vidhi ling is not a past tense. It is what they call as a mood, so it's not a past tense. So but here we have praptavan, he's talking about a past tense. So we have lung and lung. Now in lung lakara you get the gana vikaranam. So we get the gana vikaranam what prapnoti, right? So that the gana vikaranam nu is not there. It will become prapnot, because the prapnot, the gana vikaranam nu is not there. That means lung is out. So only left is lung. So without knowing too much vyakaranam, we can tell that prapat is 3rd person, singular, parasmipadi, lung lakara form, past tense. Because praptavan told is a past tense, the ending ta, itascha, that e has dropped, it has to be lung or lung. In lung what happens is that we get the shabadayaha, the shap, etc. Gana vikaranam comes in there. And why is not come in the lung, by the way? In the lung, because it is apavada for that. Chilungi chile sich. Pratya sich comes as default. No matter what gana dhatu is in, the sich comes as default. So now that blows out is all these shap, etc. So now we don't, so the gana vikaranam is not to be seen. So it doesn't become gana specific. Sich comes as default for them all. So but in prapat that pratyaya nu is not there. So that's how we can, why am I going this approximate route? Because the rules for lung lakara are very varied and many of them. So to master lung lakara is difficult. The easy way to tackle lung lakara is you first recognize. Now one more thing, by the way, there is an ad agama which has been eaten up in here in the prapat. What has happened is that, see, normally we can rely on that ad agama to be there to give us a hint. This is going to be lung or lung. Unfortunately, here, the dhatu being ap, we had the adajadi now, we had the ad agamaha. And because of atascha vriddhi, that ad agama has been kind of lost. Not been lost, which has taken the vriddhi rekha adesha has happened. So we really had, what we had is we had the pra sarga, then we had the ad agamaha. Then we had ap, and then we have this another kind of some kind of an come which will figure out what this is, and then we had the pratyaya tip and itascha, the third drop. So unfortunately, because this art making the vriddhi with this but between the art and the we should not do the akasama dirgha. Though it doesn't matter in this particular case, we should do atascha. When the pratyaya art comes, for sure, when does the art come? When the dhatu is ajadi. Because our usual sutram is what? Lung, 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 shodadattaha. Lung, 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 shvad udattaha. So lung, 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 shu, su, ad udattaha. So the ad agama comes. But next sutram is adajadina. So 6472 says adajadina. So that if the pratyaya is ajad, it takes the ad agama. And the moment the ad comes, atashcha sutram says, do the ekadesha vriddhi. Vriddhi rekadesha you have to do between that ad and the following ach. In this case, it does not matter. Because if you do akastamani dirgha, you'll get a plus a will become a only. But what we have to do is the ekadesha is the vriddhi of the second a, which gives a only in this case. It doesn't matter. But sutram is atashcha. So remember sutram atashcha. The moment the art comes, you should always think of atashcha. Do not do any ad gunaha or akastamani dirgha. Don't do that, because the atashcha is a special rule. Now where will the sutram come? Under Vriddhirechi, somewhere there, under Vriddhirechi. If you look at, one of Vriddhirechi was 6188. It'll probably be 6190-ish, yeah, Atashcha Vriddhi. So Atashcha, 6190. So Atashcha will do the Vriddhi, so use 6190. Use 6190 to Vriddhi Rekadeshaha, for Vriddhi Rekadeshaha. Vriddhi as an Ekadeshaha. Between the Vriddhi as an ekadesha, between the a and the a, the Vriddhi is the Vriddhi of that following a is the ekadesha. It will make a difference in other places. We will have from dhatu like ish become aichat. So a plus e becomes aichat, not aichat but aichat. So Vriddhi is ekadesha. Okay, let's put it like that here. Okay, for that part is fine. Unfortunately, as I said, that a was eaten up, because then between that a and the akara of the pra, it became prapat. So all that was jumbled up in there. So we could not rely on our helper. Our helper was the adagama, the adagama. But that got through dirgha by the sandhi prakriya, it was lost. So now the ending tha only we relied on to get a hint from Itashcha Sutram 34100. From 34100 tells us that this probably lakara which is known as an it, from 34100 tells us that that this is a form that tells us that this is a form. This is a form of a lakaraha which has the with no as an it. See, this Tinganta Prakriya is like mathematics, so it's like an equation. So the more hints you can get, you can try to decipher the form. It's like a puzzle, So lakara with no as an it, no as a marker. And then what we did was that we looked at what Malinatha had to say, and since he said praptavan, we reduced our choices to only two, lung and lung. And the lung, the Gana Vikranam has to be seen in there. It was not there. We put the pratyaya lung. Okay. Now let's go. This is the reverse route, Reverse engineering. What we do with reverse engineering is what we did. Let's try to go the forward route now. Now, first thing we're going to do is see the dhatu part. Actually, this is one of the easiest lung forms. This is one of the easiest forms of lung. Why is that? Because if you look at first of all, what is the it letter on the dhatu in the dhatu patha? Okay. The moment you find any dhatu, make it a habit to see what messages come with it. What are the instructions coming with it? And they will be contained in the it letters in the dhatu patha. So this dhatu is apru vyaptau. This has that r as in the vowel, r as an it. Now when you see that, you should be very happy. R darshanena harsha jayeta. Kasmat jayeta. Because that means that, the lung prakriya sukara syat. It will be very easy. It will be very easy. Now, why do I say that? Because all these varieties of lung, they come in 3.1 before Kartari Shap. Kartari Shap is 3168. We use it all the time, right? Before that, there is a section which is a good news. It's kind of a compact section which gives the varieties of lung. And so 3468 is Kartari Shap. Before you have Sarvadhatike Yak before that. And now there's a section before that which says you should have the chilis chili lungi chile sich. So in the lung lakara, the pratyaya chili comes. That chili becomes sich by default. Now in our case, you have to use this sutram 3155. Is pushadi, dyutadi, ruditaha, parasmapadesho. The pratyaya ang comes here. So what does this tell us? That pratyaya ang has to be used when you have this pushadi dhatu, pushadi list, and dyutadi list. There are two lists of dhatus. Now you understand how in the dhatu pata Panini orders these dhatus, because he wants to order them in such a way they can be grouped together so that they have common characteristics in that group. So pushadi, dyutadi, ruditaha. So ruditaha. That's why I said you should be happy. When you see ru as an it, you should be happy. Because this ru as an it tells you in the lung lakaraha, use the pratyaya ang in parasmapadam. The pratyaya ang. And when you add the ang, the good news about the ang is that it does no guna vriddhi, because the kiniticha will stop guna vriddhi. It does no idagama headaches, because it's not valadi pratyaya. So no guna, no vriddhi, no idagama. You just add a. And once you add, it becomes adanta angam. So then you can use the same ending as in lang lakaraha. See, once you add this ang, you can use the same ending in lang lakaraha. So once when you already have this form prapat, right? So you can use now the same endings. If you know the form like abhavat, you can then decline the same way. So abhavat, abhavatam. So right, so all those when you use those same endings. So abhavan, so the same endings abhavaha. So the abhavatam, abhavata, and so on and so on. Abhavam, abhavava, abhavama. So same thing here. Prapat, prapa. See the prapa, like the angam fire. So of course para is upasarga, you don't need that. You can say prapat, prapatam, prapan, prapaha, prapatam, prapata, prapam, prapava, prapama. So because dhatu gum is another which has this r as an it. Agamat becomes agamat. Agamat, agamatam, agaman, agamaha, agamatam, agamata, agamam, like abhavam, agamam, agamava, agamama. So you can recite the entire lung declension, conjugation, without with just knowing the lung rules. You can recite the entire lung. So when the ru as an it allows us to do all this very easily. So in this particular case, we didn't have to go the reverse route. We could have gone the forward route pretty easily, because the ru as an it. Remember this sutram if you can. Pushadi, dyutadi, luzitaha, prasmapadesho, ang pratyavati. So they put ang, of course, halantyam is an it. So that is where this from 3155 is where this came from. And we'll put in brackets over here. So this 3155 is the one which brought the. Now Mulinatha doesn't give us all this. Okay, he expects us to know this. Otherwise, be too much elaboration. So that's what the ang pratyaya came. Itascha dropped the ending as an it. The ending e of the tip dropped away. Okay, so what is left here is now the. And that's the end of the shloka. So if you go to the down here, so you try to make the whole meaning. And if you don't understand all this, it's okay. I hope that you can at least decipher between the lung and the lung. That is enough for you. If you do that much, that you got the meaning. If you want to go all the rules, then you can look up that section before the Kartari Shabd, that all section, try to get an idea. Or you can look up in a book like Madhya Dhatu Vritti or the Bhimi Volume 2. It will give you a good idea. Now, what does Sutram, the Shloka say is Tadakantakaha, the killer of Tadaka, Shri Ramaha, he obtained from the Muni, who was pleased by his valor. He obtained this missile which was endowed with the mantra, and which was capable of killing the Rakshasas. And the word Atham is then, so that should be on the top. I mentioned to last, these connection words, they come one word later in Sanskritam. Okay, so Atham is then. So then, Tadakanta Hashiramaha, he obtained from the Muni Vishwamitraha, who was pleased by his valor, this weapon, which was capable of killing the Rakshasas, just as the Suryakanta Manihi gets the jyoti, the light or luster or the I guess the power from the sun god Bhaskarat, which is capable of felling the fuel, means burning the fuel. Let's see who wants to take this. Should be very easy now. Who wants? Why no Vasu can do? Anybody else other than Vasu? Anybody wants to take this one? Let's see. Anybody else wants to volunteer? Besides, Wayne can do this. This is easy for Wayne. Wayne?
Yes.
Okay, then. What's the word then?
Okay, 1 second. Atha.
Atha. From the sage.
Munehe.
Munehe. Let me increase this focus a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay. From the sage Munehe. Okay. Who was pleased with his prowess?
Pleased would be
Toshitad.
Toshitad.
The prowess is
His
Avadana.
prowess is Avadana.
Remember our friend Bhaguri from last time, Bhaguri? So Bhaguri was the one who gave the authority for the Avadana.
Oh, you were going to look up. Did you look up? Was it somewhere else? Was he mentioned in some other kosha?
No, this Bhaguri.
Yeah, remember you looked up.
Bhaguri, the only thing about Bhaguri is that shloka which is in Apte dictionary. That's the only place. That's the only one we know about Bhaguri.
Yeah, Amrakosha wasn't there. Yeah.
So this Bhaguri is anyway. God bless.
Yeah.
So,
This
Avadana
layer.
Kosa.
Yeah.
This layer of Sadaka.
Tadaka would be Antaka. Let's see where it says.
Sadaka Antaka.
Tadaka Antaka, huh?
Then
Obtained Prapat.
Prapat. A demon
slaying missile is Nairitagna.
And missile is
Astra.
Astram.
Astram.
See, the dhatu shastra and astra is two different dhatus, by the way.
Oh, really?
Yes. Dhatu astra is something which you throw. It's a missile.
Oh.
Kshepane is to throw. You don't hold in your hand. You throw it.
Okay. Whereas Shastram is...
Shastram is, dhatu shas means has meaning of to kill also. So it's a weapon it's a means of killing somebody. But
Shastram also is something you release and it goes kills somebody, right?
No, like a khadgam. That's a shastram, like a sword and those are
okay.
Other like an arrow is astrams. Anyway, a missile. So along with this mystic charm.
Mantravat.
Even as
Iva.
The sunstone.
Suryakantaha.
Derives is repeated. The same
Derives is again Prapat. From the sun, Bhaskarat. The luster Jyotihi.
That consumes wood.
Indana. Nipati.
Okay, good. So we got that.
Does it mean that the arrow which Rama used didn't have any mantra at the time?
I guess maybe, but this one has a mantra. Other one which had mantra, it doesn't say about that arrow.
Meaning, is it a new one or he got the same thing bad, but now with the mantra?
This is a new one that he got, not the same one that he used.
Okay.
What's the question? Yes, Vasu.
Satish ji.
Yes.
If you can bear with me, this may be a kind of a tidbit for Rajaji's class. But I thought
this is the 10 o'clock class now.
So I thought I will drop some, maybe a trivia observation here.
Okay.
The Suryakanta Mani, I think was the natural lens they used in those days. Just like lodestones was a natural stone as a magnet.
To focus the sun's lights.
Yeah, especially to light the pieces of wood, which was very essential for all the yaga.
Yes, it could be. You're right. So that was maybe the focusing, the way they were able to ignite these things.
So when you look at the history of science, many people may wonder how did the lens process came. It may be from the natural way the people used a few things.
Could be.
It's just like a prism is a natural crystal you can use as a prism to spread the light.
To focus the light.
Yeah.
Good. Well, thank you. Thank you for your observation. So this is Suryakantaha. Okay, let's look at the next one now. It says the try to get the basic idea if you can. No, I think okay, it's here. Vamanashrama padam tataha param pavanam Shrutam Rishe Rupe Yavan Unmanaha Prathama Janma Cheshtitanya Smarannapi Babhuva Raghavaha. One more time. Vamanashrama Padan Tataha Param Pavanam Shrutam Rishe Rupe Yavan Unmanaha Prathama Janma Cheshtitanya Smarannapi Babhuva Raghavaha. It's a nice shloka. One more time. Vamanashrama padam tataha param pavanam shrutam rishe rupe yivan unmanaha prathama janma cheshtitanya smarannapi babhuva raghavaha. Padachhedaha vamanashrama padam tataha param pavanam shrutam rishehe upe yivan unmanaha prathama janma cheshtitani asmaran api. Interesting sandhi over here. Asmaran api. This nakara duplicating here. The agama is coming here. Asmaran api babhuva raghavaha. Let's look at the padanvaya given to us by Malinatha. He says tataha param. This puts on the top of the sentence. Means after that. Tataha param. Tadanantaram. After that. Raghavaha. Subject, object, verb. Subject, object, verb. So karta, karma, and then tinganta padam. This is the natural order in prose, okay? So he puts the subject first, Raghavaha. Then he puts a clause in between. Rishehe kaushikad akhyatuhu shrutam. Heard from the rishi. That is only an adjective now, qualifying the Vamana ashrama padam. So we can leave it out. We'll take it in the padanvaya. So rishehe shrutam. Pavanam also qualifies the same. So Rishe Shrutam is one adjective for that Vamanashrama Padam. Second adjective is the Pavanam. Two adjectives. Always take adjectives before the noun. See how beautifully Malinatha gives the Padanvaya for you. So learn to do, if you just, as I mentioned to you last time, if you just go through Raghuvamsha and just look at Malinatha's Padanvaya, you will become a master of Padanvaya. Just see how he does the Padanvaya. Of course, you need to know some basic meanings to get to appreciate that. But even if you don't know all the meanings, just see how he reorders the padas. Very simple, nothing more. So just, step by step, try to get a feel for that, how he does that. So he puts, so we're going to subject, object, verb. Now, the subject had no adjectives. Notice that. Raghava had no adjectives. If he had them, he put them before that, So then he says the Rishehe Shrutam qualifying Ashrama Padam, Vamana Ashrama Padam is a compound. Then Pavanam is qualifying Vamana Ashrama Padam. And he gives the Vigraha Vakyam for that. So while he's doing the Padanvaya, while he's doing, he gives the Vigraha Vakyam also in between there. So Vamanasya Swapurvavatara Visheshasya Ashrama Padam. So that ends that. Now Upeyivan. Upeyivan is the verb. The is actually the participle. It's a perfect participle. What is his paraya shabda for that? Upagataha san. Upagataha means he approached. Upagataha san. Then he gives the Pani Sutram for which we see now momentarily. Upeyivan anashwan anuchanascha 32110. Iti nipataha. Nipataha means what? It's a ready-made form, which Panini gives a ready-made form for us. What is the reason? Why does Panini do that? Which means that there will be too many rules required to derive just one or two forms, which will not be general rules. They will not be useful in other places. So Panini says, okay, these are not general rules. Let's not waste 2-3 sutras just to get this form. I'll give a nipata over here. So you guys can figure out what was the reason for giving nipataha. So when Panini gives the nipataha, the Bhashyam or the Vrittikaraha will tell you why Nipata is being given by Panini. What rules would he have had to compose to get this form if he doesn't want to compose? Okay, we'll go through that. And that's what Nipata means. It's a ready-made form. So then Prathama Janma Cheshtitani, he says, Api, Smarannapi, Unmanaha Babhuva. So it's kind of like a second sentence now. So that same Raghavaha, Unmanaha Babhuva, he became kind of Utsukaha, he became anxious or excited, or his interest was perked up. Utsukaha Babhuva. Now remember one more thing, please. If you have the dhatu bhu or us or any paryaya vachaka paryaya dhatu, then we will not have an object in the there is no object as such. So we say Ramaha Viraha Asti, Ramaha Vira Bhavati, or Rama Vira Bhavishyati api. Why not Viram Bhavishyati? How come Viraha Bhavishyati Prathama is being used? Because when you say an object, it has to be different from the subject. It's kind of obvious. Say Ramaha Sitam Pashyati. So Sita is different from Rama. Rama is seeing Sita. This is Ramaha Vira Bhavishyati, Dukkhita Bhavishyati. Rama will become sorry. But it is the same Rama as Dukkhita. It's not different from him. So when you have dhatu bhu or us, some says dhatu, then which is the same meaning as bhu or us, then in that case you will not get Dvitiya Vibhakti for that, because it's the same, it's the same Samadhikaranam is involved. So Unmanaha is qualifying Rama. It is not the object of, okay, because the swabhava of this dhatu is that they cannot take an object. Okay, in English if you say blindly, so Rama will be an hero, then you might think the hero is an object of being, and it should be in Dvitiya Vibhakti. It's not like that. It's Prathama only, because it's not the object. Okay, so then Lisapadacheda, in regards to the second, in the second one, there is the verb babhuva. It says a lit lakara will go through babhuva. So this is like two sentences are here. So he completed the first sentence he completed here. He said that Ramaha approached the ashramaha of Vamana. That's the first sentence. So that completed here, I should say here. And then the second sentence is that Prathama Janma Cheshtitani Api Smaran Unmanaha Babu is the second sentence. Again, the verb comes at the end. So, okay, now in fact, let's look at the second sentence. How about a subject-object verb? I was the question. I'll come back to it. Subject-object verb. It says Asmaran. Asmaran Napi. That Asmaran is qualifying Raghavaha. That is the karta. He is the karta babhuva unmanaha babhuva. So simple sentence is Asmaran Napi unmanaha babhuva. Then why did he put this thing prior to the Asmaran? Because that is the object of this Asmaran. So what is happening here is Asmaran is a qualifier for Raghavaha, one who's not remembering. And that Asmaran is taken an object. You understand that? So when we take our subject-object verb, we said Raghavaha Asmaran Napi Unmanaha Babhuva. That one we constructed. That Asmaran is taking an object here. So that object should go before the Asmaran. So this is a participle form, present participle, taking a karma. And that should go before the Asmaran. So this is not like this object has come out of place, It is the object of the Asmaran. So it goes Prathama Janma Cheshtitani Asmaran. Okay, what's the question? So that's the Padanvaya, okay? And we'll go to the individual Padas now shortly. Let's see what the Vasu, yes?
Yeah, I had the same. I had the doubt about all this. First sentence, second sentence. You have answered most of it.
Okay.
And the Prathama Janma Cheshtitani, can you explain that what it is?
The Prathama is, I think, Purva Janma.
Yeah.
Prathama means the first prior birth, because Vamana is an avatar of Rama only, right? So it's Vishnu avatara. So when he went to Vamana ashramam, then he did not recollect his own prior activities there. Because this, and Malinatha explains that Ramasya Ajnana Avatarattvena Samskara Daurbalyad. Because Rama is not supposed to know he is Vishnu in the avatar, because that's a condition for him, right, to kill Ravana. So even though he was in his own ashram, so to speak, this Vamanasya Swapurva Avatar Visheshasya. It was his own avatar before. Even though he had gone there now again, he was as if not recollecting his own activity. Dhatu is Cheshtitana means activities. He could not recollect his own activities, which was of his prior birth, because of the fact that he was not supposed to know them, because the Ajnana Avatarattvena, that's what that means. So even though he was not recollecting his own activities, but still he was kind of excited. He knew something was there that he had seen before, so he was anxious. That's the meaning of that. So let's try to get some grammar here. But this is all, Kalidasa's imagination, kavyam coming here. Tata param, nothing special. Is that, I think param is also I think uses an avya in there. Means param means later on. Tata param is a very common word. Means you can also start using this when you start speaking Sanskritam. Tata param tatra gamishyami. So after that I will go there. So for this tata param is a term that is like an idiomatic term that you can use. Because tadanantaram also can be used. And tataha also can be used. Tataha param means after that. Raghavaha also, we have done many times before. So Raghova apatyapaman Raghavaha. To derive the form Raghavaha, what you need is that if you take the form Raghu, if you add the pratya, some kind of is being added, the adivriddhi has become Raghu. How do you get Raghavaha then? What do we need to get the form Raghavaha, by the way? Because if you use the sutram, default, let's do a little bit of taditas here, is the Tasyapatyam is also a nice section in the Tadita jungle. And that comes in the beginning of 4.1 itself. The moment the Panini starts Taditaha Adhikaraha, the very first meaning that Panini takes is Tasyapatyam. And that one Panini starts from here in 4.192. It says Tasyapatyam. See, as I mentioned to you before, you need three things you have to know at the end of the day. What is the meaning? Which prakriti can take it? What is the pratyaya? In Tasyapatyam, only one piece of the puzzle is given to you. The meaning is that he is a descendant of that person. Okay, but that's only the meaning. But then which prakritis can take this? We don't know. What is the pratyaya also we don't know. Now, so Panini has, before the itself, he has put these default pratyayas. Prag divyato and. Prag divyato and. This up to the word divyat. The default pratyaya is and. Now, the word divyat comes in beginning of 4.4, the word divyat comes. So that sutram only puts the default pratyaya in place. So up to this word divyat, see this word divyati in 4.4.2. Up to that word divyas, up to 4.4.2. So starting from 4.180, whatever that was, 4.183. Up to 4.4.2, the default pratyaya is and. This is what I was telling you before. You will not get all three pieces in the same sutram. Because Panini wants to put some defaults which will be overruled for certain prajipadikams and so on. But pradivyata and, so pratyaya and can be used all the way. If nothing else is said, pratyaya and comes there. In all these sutras, from 4.183 to 4.4.2, and comes there, and if nothing else has been stated. So we got two pieces of the puzzle now. We got the Tasyapatyam, Pragdivyato, and unless there's some other apavadaha, will be justified to say Raghu plus and. Raghu plus and could have been used. Again, I have not gone through this whole section. Maybe there might be apavada, maybe some other pratyaya might be coming. It has to be some kind of an which can do adivriddhi. Because Raghu is becoming Raghavaha. Ra is becoming Ra. It can only be an or there might be an I, but regardless, we can assume an for the time being, unless some apavada is there in between. Now, why am I being so vague? Because this is the tough thing about Taditas. There are a number of ganas in there. Shiva, Dibhyo, An, and this and that. So ganas are list of pratipadikams. Many of these have become a little bit out of date also by now, and they can be extended, Akriti ganas. So I don't know anybody in the world today who memorizes the Gana Patha. People memorize Sutra Patha, memorize Vrittis, they memorize Dhatu Patha. Many people do, but not Gana Patha. So you really need a book to see the word Raghu comes in some Gana. And that you really have to take up a reference book. But let's assume and for the time being. So Raghu plus and. And by the sutram that, see now again the same thing, you put the pratyaya in place by Adhyaya 3, 4, 5. Now we got Raghu plus and. In fact, we should take Raghu plus Nyas plus and, because it's Tasyapatyam. This says Tasyapatyam. So technically we should be taking Raghu plus, as Kalpeji pointed out last time, it should be Raghu plus, I don't know if we did this in the class before or I'm not recalling, but let's do it today anyway. So it become Raghu plus Nyas, because Tasya is Shashti Ekvacham, that's why I'm putting Nyas, Tasyapatyam. And then the pratyaya an we are using by pragdivyato an. So pragdivyato an and tasyapatyam. So I'm using 4183 in conjunction with the 4192. So I just put this here, 4183, 4192. Reason I'm going through all this is that I want you to understand the next sutram, which is you will need. So now by using this, of course, then as usual, we use the krititita samasascha and also the supo dhatu pradipadikayoho to remove the pratyaya nyas. I'm sorry. So 1246 along with the 2471 removes the. This should be now like an automatic thing for you. Is the moment you form a taditanta form or a samasaha, you remove that the antarvartini vibhakti by this 2471 removes the nyas pratyaya. Okay, now we got here. Now we can do the adi vriddhi by the taditeshu achamadehe, which is in 7-2. We saw it today, I think 7-2, whatever, 118, 119. So become rag. Ra, ghu. So when you apply the 7-2, I think what is 118 or 119, by 7-2, taditeshu achamadehe, 118, 117, I'm sorry. So 7-2-117, we're now going to get the raghu, plus, of course, in the an by halantyam, the no is an it, but that's what allows us to use the 7-2-117 required, that no or the nya or the to be an it. So we got the adivriddhi. Okay, now what do we need, by the way? To get, we look at, we know the answer is Raghava. So what can get us the form Raghava? Anybody in the class? We want to get the form Raghava. We have Raghu plus A. What operation do we need to get the form Raghava? Okay, anybody? Let's see. Kalpeshji, want to try that one? Vasu, isn't it? Try.
You have a ukara and akara, so akara should come in, right?
We could become Raghva. If you do Yans, and you become Raghva. Raghva, not Raghava. If you do equivalency is Yarnadesha Praptaha, become Raghva. We want Raghava. What do we need? Okay.
So that there ought to be a rule about the upada there.
We need to take the guna for the u.
Guna
if
for the
we can get the guna for the u, our job is done. Became Ragho, then become Echo Yavaya, become Raghava.
Raghava, yeah.
So that's what we need. We need, if we can get somehow a guna for the u, but there's no sutram that we know that we can do that for us right now, because remember the sutras, the sarva dhatu ardhaka yoho, those also only dhato iti viyatasya. So this is not dhato. This is tadita pratyaya. So we cannot use any of that thing. So we need some rule, we hope, that will give us the guna for the u to get into an o. Then we are done. Then you use echo yava yavaha. But now the other thing I mentioned to you, when you add in tadita pratyaya, it's a swadi pratyaya. So swadi shusranama sthane padasanya is default for the angam, but yachibham, that Raghu has got now a bhasanya. So this sutra in 1.4.17.18, Swadishva Sarvanama Sthane. So when a Swadi Pratyaya is there, and it is not Sarvanama Sthane, because in Tadita there is no Sarvanama Sthana. So now time we only su out, just out in the feminine and masculine, and in the neutral it's the Patama Dvitiya Bhavachanam Shi Pratyaya. So when in Tadita there is no Sarvanama Sthana Pratyaya. So Swadishu, Asarvanama Sthane, which is not the Taditas. Anga gets pada sanya as default, but yachibham 1.4.18 gives a bha sanya. So now our hint should be to look in the bhasya adhikara from 6.4.129, and hopefully we find a sutram there. It says, and there is one sutram there. It says or gunaha. That's why I went through all this from 6.4 is bhasya adhikara, and there should be a sutram which says or gunaha. Here it is. Or gunaha. So oho is the shashti of the u. So when you have uvarnanta angam and anurutya of tadhita is coming there. So if the anga is a bhasanya ending in a uvarna and the following pratyaya tadhita pratyaya, then in that case it takes gunaha alone, so that u of the angam will take gunaha and we'll get the form ragho. So or gunaha is sutram which we need, because just pratyaya and will not give us the answer, because we have raghu plus and we are stuck with the equivalence. It will not help us out. So or gunaha uvarnantasya bhasya gunaha bhavati tadhyate parataha. So or gunaha. So 64146. I put the number here. So use 64146. So please remember this sutram 64146 to do gunaha. Of the ending u of rago, of the ending u of rago. Okay, so that's what we got. What's who has a question? 6-4. Did I have a typo? Okay.
Satishji, I need to, I don't want to drag the rest of this one class. Bhas again I need to understand, and also Bhasya Adhikara. Which chapter in Bhaimi Vyakya I need to go and look at it?
Well, I think the Bhasanya will come in the first book itself, the Yachibham, the Swadeshwasaranama Sthana and Yachibham. There you can look at that, but there he will be kind of covered in the context of the Supratmidhi, the Subanta Prakriya. And then in book number 5, where he talks about the Tadhitas. In fact, the word Raghava is there in book 5, I think. So you can look it up there. It's all the Prakriya there.
Okay.
So 1418 is the Bhasanya, and the Bhasya Adhikara is 64129 onwards. But the word Raghava is there on that. You can look it up. Volume 5. Okay, so that's the word Raghava. But I mean, Mullinatha, this is not given explained because this is now supposed to be known to us. So Raghava. Then he said, well, Rishehe equals Kaushikad. So Kushika, from Kushika comes Kaushika. We saw many classes back. So Rishehe means he doesn't know which Rishi. So it's an adjective to Kaushikad. He says Akshatuhu. What is that now? Anybody in the class, by the way, Akshatu? Special prize for today. We've seen this in the previous class. Anybody remember this? I think we had this about 5, 6 classes ago. Maybe more than that. But we had this word. What is he saying? Rishehe Kaushikad Akshatuhu. Akshatu means what? What is the Pratipadikam? Akshatr. Dhatu is kya. Kya is to tell or narrate. Aksha is to narrate or to describe, to relate. Akshatuhu. So from Vishwamitra, who was the narrator? So from the narrator Vishwamitra. Why is he saying? What is that? What is he saying there? What is he trying to get to? Anybody remembers? Anybody? Okay. We had this a few classes back. What Mullinatha is saying is that he's pointing to a Panini Sutram, by the way. This is what I mean. When we jump into these texts in the between, this is already something which Mullinatha has covered in detail in the prior chapter, which we happen to have covered, by the way. Otherwise, we not even know this or what this is. So we should really be going from chapter 1. If we had started, then we would have all these basic things Mullinatha will cover one time. He will cover them one time or 2 times. And then after that, he will not cover them over and over again. So really, if you look at the beginning, even like Ramayanam Tika, if you look at the first few chapters, they're very, very nice because they give you a lot of Vyakaranam details they give. After that, they're very, very terse. They're very short only they give. So this has come to us already in this, I think it was in this chapter or last chapter it had come to us, this Akshatu. So what is pointing to us is that, and this, if you know the Ashtadhyayi well, this one will ring a bell for you for the Panchami Vibhakti, because this Vibhakti is Panchami, Kaushikad. And then he says Akshatuhu. If you know the Karaka section of Ashtadhyayi, this is a technical term that Panini has used. I mean, this term is not technical, but this term is used in the Ashtadhyayi. Yes, Vasu.
Satishji,
yes.
It is the verse 14, Tau Suketu Sutaya. In that, Mullinatha says, Kaushika Adakhyatuhu.
Okay, good. Did I give a sutram there he gives?
He didn't say Akhyatu Upayoge.
That's very good. Akhyatu, which is chapter of this chapter? Is this number?
This same chapter.
Okay, good.
14. 14 verse.
Okay, thank you. So chapter 14, I mean not verse 14 of the same chapter. We already had that. And what he's telling us is that, as in there he gave the sutram also, is the apadana sanya which is used, you know. So dhruvamapaye apadanam, dhruvamapaye. So when there is a separation, when something is that is given as the called as the apadana sanya. Then it takes a Panchami Vibhakti, because this is a two-step process. In 1.4, Panini defines the Karaka labels, and in 2.3 ultimately you have to end up in 2.3 to get the Panchami Vibhakti. But this is not, Apadana is not, it's not like Vishwamitra and Rama like separating themselves from each other, you know, not like separation not going on here. But there is a narration going on between him and there. So there is a, Panini says that if you are learning some Vidya from it regularly from somebody, is the, let's see, from 1.4.23 starts Karake. Very first one, Dhruvamapaye Padanam. Then here comes the Akhyat Upayoge. Akhyat Upayoge. So Akhyat is the, is one who narrates. Then Upayoge means that it should be regular. If you look at what Kashika says on 1.4. So that's why that Malinatha uses the word Akhyatuhu. Because he wants you to connect. So these Ashtadhyayi terms are used by the commentators, and if we can try to connect, that's also a good thing. Akshyata is the Pratipadayata, one who transmits knowledge, you know, one who propounds. Upayoge is Niyamapurvakam Vidyagrahanam. So when you get knowledge from the teacher on a regular basis, and then you get the Karakam Apadana Sanyam Bhavati. So Upadhyayad Adhite, studies from the Upadhyayad Adhite. So that's what is Sutram which Malinatha is saying. You get the Apadana Sanya from that Sutram, and then from that you get the Panchami Bhakti. So that is we have covered in the prior class. Thank you, was Sutra, Shloka number 14. So that he says Akhyatuhu. So from him he had heard, Shrutam from him, you know. And then the Pavanam equals Shodhanam. Dhatu is Pui Pavane, Pui. So Pui Pavane. So Pavanam. So Pavanam is the, can see the Pratyaya Ana is coming here, some kind of a liu. So Shodhanam. So Shodhanam is probably going to be that which purifies, you know, that which purifies. So maybe you can go to the which sutram you can use. This is the probably in the, this is not going to be like the most likely not the lyut in the sense of bhave, like, you know, the asanam. No, asanam is adhikaranarthe, but, you know, karanam, you know, shavanam, but not like that. But karanam, shavanam means listening. So pavanam is not. What is pavanam qualifying? Pavan is qualifying the ashrama padam. So the ashrama padam which was purifying, so which was pure or purifying. So I think here we can probably use this one, the Nandi Grahi Pachadibhyo Liudinya Chaha. I know time is almost up, so we'll try to do this one. This Pavanam is the, Panini has said that this we can, this Nandyadi, like Nandanam, right? Nandanam, Ramanam, Madhusudanam. So these are all these. So Ramanam is what? Ramayatiti Ramanaha, Ramana Maharishi, is one who pleases people. So Nandi Grahi Pachadibhyo Liu Nini Achaha. So if you have the Pratyaya Liu, Nini and Achaha, Pratyaya Liu can be used. First of all, you can take Pu. If you get the form Pavanam, you can have to add a Nish Pratyaya. Make it the form Pavi. So Pu plus Nich by Achorniti, you can become Pau plus Nich become Pavi. And then add this Liu Ana. So Pavana. Pavana is that which makes pure. One with that which makes pure. But if you look, maybe if you look at 3.1.134, we might be listed, even if it's not listed there, is all of these ganas are kind of expandable. So it doesn't have to be. So let's see, does he have Pavanam here? Nandanaha, Vashanaha, Madanaha, Dushanaha, Sadhanaha, Vardhanaha, Shobhanaha, Rochanaha, Sahanaha, Tapanaha, Jalpanaha, Ramanaha. Okay. Pavana is not here. Okay. Let me check it out. Maybe next time I'll make sure this is the same sutram. So Pavanam So that is, I'll make sure. It seems to work, but unless there is something, there might be some other sutra which Panini, unless he is specifically given. There are some other pratyas which might be able to be used. I'll check it out. In fact, here, what we can do is, let's see if it's in time is almost up anyway. So let me see if this Pavana is in the Amar Kosha. If it is there, then see we can quickly get the sutram from there. Pavana, no, Pavakaha is there. Pavanam is not there. Okay, so Pavakaha is there. Let me see if it is there in the. We can also check Apteji. These are the books that I go to find the answers. To get what. Let's see, is Pavana given by the Madhavya Dhatu Vritti? Might have given that. At the end of the book, there's a nice index of all the words derived in the Madhavya Dhatu Vritti. No, Pavana is not there either. So, okay, let's see what Apteji has to say for Pavana, because he might have given the word. I'm sure Pavana, the only thing is that Apteji doesn't give all the pratyas all the time. Doesn't give etymology all the time. Sometimes he gives it, sometimes he doesn't give it. Let's see what he gives, because at least the easy ones he tends to give. Okay, Pavana. Okay, I was right. Pu plus nich plus liu. Okay, we got it right. Apte confirms that. Pu plus nich plus liu. So nich, of course, is the hetumaticha nich. Okay, let me put that, and I think we're going to stop now momentarily. So let us put the, that confirms why since it is a straightforward form, it was not given in the Dhatu Vritti, or anyway, it was not given because it's a straightforward form. So they will not give the straightforward forms in detail. I was hoping to find it in this Gana, in 3.1.134, but I don't see it listed there either, because a lot of these Ganas are expandable. Okay, so let's do this. Let's put Pu plus Nich, Pratyaya was added. This Nich is coming from what sutram? Hetumaticha. Is Hetumaticha. I think it's 3.1.26, I think it is. The Pratyaya Nich comes as in the Swarthe Nich from this Churadibhyo Nich, but Hetumaticha, in the causative sense, any dhatu is a Pratyaya Nich, like Patayati, Pathayati, Gamayati, Sthapayati. So any dhatu can be Hetumaticha. When there is somebody who's causing, the Hetu is the cause. Somebody is causing there, then it can be in the causative, Hetumaticha. So it's 3.1.26, and then on top of that we use the 3.1.134. So 3.1.26, then brackets 3.1.26, and then on that you add the Pratyaya Liu. So first you have to finish that form first, the Pu plus Nich, and then that will be 3.1.134. Because that you need to give it a Dhatu Sanya by Sanadhyanta Dhatavaha, 3.1.32. All derived dhatus to get a dhatu sanya. Unless you can give a dhatu sanya, you cannot bring in these pratyas, liu, etc. Because you need the dhatu adhikara is running. So only dhatus can take all these pratyas. So when you derive a dhatu, it has to get a dhatu sanya by sanadhyanta dhatavaha. So of course the liu becomes ana by yuvaranako. So pu plus nich, we'll just put it like this there, by achoniti. I think all of you know that sutram by now. Pu becomes pau, and becomes echoyavava sandhi becomes pavi. So pu becomes pau by achoniti. So I think I used the 72115 and the echoyavayavaha, which is 6178. And then following that you use the pratyaya anna, sorry, not an, but anna, because yuvaranako, you use the pratyaya anna. This was made by the 711 yuvaranako. And then, as I mentioned to you, is the niraniti. When you have pratyaya, which is ardhadhatuka pratyaya, does not have idagamaha, because this is not ajadi. And then in that, it's not valadi. It's not valadi. No idagama can be taken by this. The ending nich will drop, niraniti. Anidada ardhadhatuke pare ne lopasyat. So the nich drops by 6451. You get this final form. Let me give you some homework maybe for next time. Just give you some homework. Okay, I can give you some homework. 6451. Now the tricky form in the shloka is upeyavan, okay? Upeyavan. What I would suggest to is that look at this Sutram 32109 and as for homework, it might be easy for all of you, but this upeyavan Panini has given as a nipataha. Try to find from the Vyakhyanam if you can for next time. Why did Panini give this form upeyavan? Of course, upa is upasarga. It becomes upa, then becomes iyivan. The Prajapati is iyivas. So upa plus iyivas. Now this is of course in place of it's a perfect participle. It's a perfect participle. So we have upa plus iyivas. If you can do for homework, try to figure out some of the steps for this in the upa plus iyivas. Upa plus e is a Prajapadikam. Iyivas. So see if you can derive any steps for this, because lit pratyaya is coming, the pratyaya is kwasuscha is coming here. So this pratyaya kwasu is coming, and then you have to do duplication. Abhyasa karyam has to be done, and then find out what was I'll give you a hint right now. The idagama that you see here, you would not have got that unless Panini gave us a nipataha. So idagama would not be there. This sutram in the idagama section is 372. So that's homework for you. But 7267, I think, is that Kosu. Kosu has a special rule for it to take the idagamaha. It only takes it which is ekaj ad ghasam. So Vasu takes the idagamaha only ekaj ad ghasam. And this would not have been ekaj, not had the idagama. So see if you can do any homework on that. Anything else I can give you quickly? Okay, this form Babu is a lit form. You should be able to derive that yourself. There's a Vuk Agama coming here. So please find out the Sutram in 6.4 where the Vuk Agama is coming. This Va is a Vuk, is an Agama. In 6.4 you find a Sutram for this Vuk Agama comes. Not only that, there's a Vishesha Abhyasa Karyam here, because if you take Bhu and do Abhyasa by usual rules, it should become Bu, not Ba. The Sutram in end of 7.4 is Sutram called Bhavateraha. Please find that. In end of 7.4 is this one. This one is in 6.4 is Sutram for the Vuk Agamaha. This one is Sandhi rule. All of you should know it. Asmaran Api. There is the Nyamut Agamaha. I think it's 8.3. So find a number for that for next time, please. Namut Agama for next time. Okay, that's enough for next time. Let's do the Mangalacharanam. Ramo Rajamanis Sada Vijayate Ramam Ramesham Vajay Ramena Vijata Nishachara Chamu Ramaya Tasmai Namaha Rama Nasti Parayanam Parataram Ramasya Dasosmyaham Rame Chittale Sada Bhautame Bho Rama Mamuddhara Rama Rameti Rameti Rame Rame Manorame Sahasanama Tattulyam Rama Nama Varanane Sri Rama Nama Varanana Onnamati. I'll stay back for questions. Anybody has questions? Kalpesh, you are okay?
Yes, we are okay.
Okay.
We're okay.
Okay. Okay, so no questions. Okay then, in that